and welcome to What the Faux Travel Podcast with Nick and Amy. This is our second mini episode of Series 3, and it's all about bucket lists.
Welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for joining us. So we've got a couple of cracking guests lined up for you guys. Craig and Amy, not to be confused with our Amy, and they're both from the YouTube channel Kinging It.
Yeah, now this is a YouTube channel that we've been watching for a while and love, and I think the main reason why we love them is because they do remind us a lot of ourselves, really, because they're a couple they've actually been together like the same amount of time that we have, and yeah, you can tell they're just really good together. Today we are talking about bucket lists. Now this is something that has always been really big in my life. So in 2012 I wrote my own bucket list, and for anyone that doesn't know what a bucket list is, it's a list of things that you want to do before you die. So it's a really positive thing, but when you actually kind of read between the lines, it actually sounds like a really morbid thing.
Yeah, but I think it's only because some people only write a bucket list like when they know their days are numbered, but the whole point should be, do it when you've got loads of time to tick loads of things off. Exactly,
and that is my situation. I've luckily never been in a situation where I've been told I've got an illness or anything like that. It kind of came out of, I want to say depression, but depression sounds like too much of a strong word. So I went through, maybe it was just, my teenage years, and I wasn't a very happy teenager. And so it wasn't until like one day, and I kind of thought, actually, all these times I've thought, oh, well, that person over there is making me unhappy. That person's doing that to me and making me sad, until you actually realise, oh, okay, I'm the person that's got to change this. I'm the person that can change my mood and what I think about things. And until you realise that, it's not going to get better. And so it was kind of like an epiphany moment for me. And I thought, actually, I'm going to sort this out myself. And one of those things to sort it out was a bucket list. So as I was saying, it's things to do before you die. And I was looking up where it came from, because it's quite a funny phrase, really, kick the bucket. And I think especially if English is your second language, you might not understand what it means. So to kick the bucket in English means to die. And it all derives, this is so dark, but it all derives from hanging, because when they hang people, they tie the rope round their neck.
Wow,
and they kick the
that.
bucket from under their feet, don't they?
Wow, we never knew that.
Yeah, so it makes sense, really.
Makes perfect sense, yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking about bucket lists. So I've got 114 items on my list, and everybody's first question when I tell them that, they're always like, where did 114 come from? Well, I actually wrote 100. I typed them out in 2012, and I've just been adding, so that's where the 14's come from. And I haven't got a rule where I can't add new ones or anything like that, but we're just going to whip through all the bucket list items that I have.
Right, strap yourself in, guys.
Go paragliding.
Skydive.
Get a university degree.
Go to an event in the sky.
Throw tomatoes at La Tomatina.
Go and watch the Pamplona Bull Run.
Eat at one of the world's best restaurants, a Michelin star.
Step foot on all 7 continents.
Go whitewater rafting.
Visit Machu Picchu.
Visit the Great Wall of China.
Travel Britain, i.e. Scotland, England, Wales and Northern Ireland.
Visit Chichen Itza.
Stay at the Igloo Village in Finland.
Learn to snowboard or ski.
Cross a country on a bike.
Learn another language.
Trek Annapurna. Attend
the Olympic Games.
Visit the 9/11 Memorial Site.
Dance in the streets of Cuba.
Travel a country in a camper van.
Visit the Colosseum in Rome.
Visit the VLT, the Very Large Telescopes in the Atacama Desert in Chile.
Float in the Dead Sea.
Ski a black run.
Visit Petra in Jordan.
Learn to tango in Buenos Aires.
Discover the Longleat Hedge Maze in Frome near Bath.
Leave my handprint in wet cement.
Visit Stonehenge.
Visit the Grand Canyon.
Visit a tribe like the Maasai tribe in Kenya.
Bath in some natural springs.
Milk a cow.
Spend the day on a yacht.
Dive with sharks.
Explore the pyramids and Sphinx in Egypt.
Fast for 3 days to promote mental health and well-being.
Go on a safari in Africa.
Visit the moon.
Visit the Taj Mahal.
Attend the Holi Festival in India.
Go to Maui.
Hold a murder mystery dinner.
Stay in an overwater bungalow.
Make a difference to an unfortunate person's life.
Kayak in the bioluminescent bay of Fajardo, Puerto Rico.
Be a film extra.
Go to a cocktail class.
Swim in the Devil's Pool in Victoria Falls.
Foster a child.
Watch a drive-in movie theatre or an open cinema.
Go to Rio Carnival.
Go to my most desired country, Argentina.
Ride a helicopter.
Swim in the world's largest pool in Chile.
Fly first class.
Visit Auschwitz concentration camp.
Visit Christ the Redeemer.
Take a cooking class.
Go to the Amazon rainforest.
Visit Tikal, Maya civilization.
Sleep in a hammock.
Write myself a letter and read it 10 years later.
Go sandboarding.
Leave a note on someone's car window.
Holiday in Saint-Tropez.
Rent a bike and cycle to the next town and back. Next one, 69.
Have a 69. Write a message in a bottle.
Volunteer in another country.
Get a tattoo.
Ski in Whistler.
Become fluent in Spanish again.
Take Nan to see her friend.
See Ed Sheeran.
Go to an astronomy class.
Go to a comedy night.
Get my palm read or told my future.
Go zorbing with a friend.
Laugh until I can't breathe with a friend.
Go scuba diving.
Ride a camel.
Squash grapes with my feet.
Achieve a sports goal.
Meet Ricky Gervais and Carl Pilkington.
Watch at least the top 10 of the best movies on IMDb.
Learn how to cook Thai food authentically.
Meditate with monks.
Buy a same-day ticket to a foreign country.
Get in good physical state, i.e. comfortably run a 5K and get a six-pack.
Take a massage class.
Swim in the Great Barrier Reef.
Go to the cinema alone.
Go to the dogs with my granddad.
Set up a surprise birthday party for Nick, me.
Become a successful presenter.
Take an aerial yoga class.
Read a trilogy.
Go on a gorilla trek.
Learn how to say thank you in 30 different languages.
Visit Iguazu.
See the Northern Lights.
Take a pottery class.
Start my own business.
Make a mini film.
Build my own website.
Go on a creative live course.
See Odessa live.
Go to the ballet.
To vote in a general election.
Go Radio 1.
Go to Beyond Sahara Festival.
Climb a mountain.
So, they are all my bucket list items. So yeah, there's a lot there. I've actually currently completed 55, which is quite cool.
Wow. So, looking back at that list, any ones you want to give a mention to? Any strange ones? Any ones that you thought were the most fun doing?
Well, this is one I haven't ticked off yet, but I feel I need to explain it. Visit the moon. That's quite a weird one. But by that, I mean just leave the Earth's atmosphere. I really think that's going to be really accessible in the future, especially by the time I'm like 80 or 90 years old. I might not be able to get the spacecraft, but that's fine.
I definitely think, they'll be doing tourist trips to space, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, all I'm saying is, if it's possible to do that for the general public and it isn't thousands and thousands of pounds, I'll push myself to do it.
Cool. And, that list is actually the reason why we've done a lot of the trips that we've done, a lot of the travels.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely been the driving force behind everything and a lot of things in our relationship, really. Yeah, we've done loads of different stuff, which I really don't think that we would have done otherwise. And the other main reason to making the bucket list, not just kind of taking life into my own hands, but scaring myself. And I've now become addicted to scaring myself because I love trying new things and I love that feeling when you've overcome something. It really is addictive.
Yeah, that's great. And you're living life, you're doing things. It's good. And, your list keeps me busy as well. I don't really have a list. The gorilla trek that you've got on your list, that is something I'd really like to do. I don't know when. But when I think of things I want to do, rather than write down my list, I think, right, maybe this year I want to do that. Let's make it happen. But yeah, I'm busy enough keeping up with your list.
Exactly. And I did actually put that gorilla trek on mainly for you. So
thanks.
You've got your own little item on there. Don't you worry, babe. Right, let's get on to our guests, Kinging It. So we were having a little chat with them a few weeks ago. We said to them that from reading their story on their website, it's very clear that they didn't have the easiest start to their relationship. So we asked if they could tell us their story.
So I guess we have got a bit of a mad story, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I met Craig the night he was kind of leaving to go on a round the world trip. And at the time I was going through treatment for cancer. I had Hodgkin's lymphoma, which was, I kind of felt a lump above my left collarbone and thought, I don't think this is quite right. So we went to the doctors and she put a little needle in it and lo and behold, she said it was cancer, and I actually couldn't believe it. Because, when you think of people that have cancer, you think they're all older, and, you just don't ever think, as cliche as it sounds, you don't think it's ever going to happen to you. But it did. Do you want to take over?
Yeah. So it was actually my leaving party, because I had an around-the-world ticket with a friend of mine, and we were leaving in 3 days' time. And I always sort of knew who Amy was in the town, friends of friends.
He fancied me. I know he did.
So she came out that night and we'd never sort of been out together. But yeah, we started chatting and we just sort of clicked straight away, didn't we? So then I had to leave. We talked every day on the phone. And then one day, we would sort of text every day as well. And one day, Amy didn't text me back. And I was like, there's got to be something wrong. And it turns out she was in intensive care with pneumonia. And this is 2 months into my trip. So I was like, should I fly home? What should we do? I was freaking out because I was just texting Amy's sister. And back then there was no such thing as FaceTime or anything. It was just, bog standard Sony Ericsson texting. And then, as you got through that, didn't you? But that was pretty scary.
Yeah, it was a really crazy time in my life because I was so young. I was only 17. And obviously, I was single before I met you. And you worry about what the boys are going to think. Well, you don't know, but we do. And I lost all my hair after my second treatment, and I was going to have treatment for about 8 months. So I had a bunch of amazing girls around me. All my friends were absolutely brilliant with it all, and they all actually got the little So the like emblem thing for my cancer was like a little flower, and they all got it tattooed on them. I wasn't well enough to go with them, and when they came back, it was huge, and I was like, oh my god! Like I only expected it to be like a 5p piece, and it was just massive black and white thing. I was like, yeah, it's lovely. Thanks very much.
So eventually, Amy came out of the hospital, recovered from the pneumonia, and then I think that was around the summertime, like July, August, and then we chatted again for a few more months, and then come October, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. My time, and I had a text from Amy saying, I can't even remember what the words were, but I just remember screaming in my bunk bed in a hostel. And then she said that she had the all clear, and it was the 10th of October 2008.
You better know.
2008, I think.
I've got them tattooed on my arms.
So yeah, we were both just over the moon, and we always said, like, obviously we'd email and text every day, and I was like, as soon as you get the all clear, you need to come out to Australia. So within a few days, Amy had booked the flights, and you were heading out.
Yeah.
So inspirational stuff from them guys. They've overcome, some really difficult things there. And to be honest, what motivates me personally, if you guys want to know, to live life, is the fear of, something like that happening to us. Like, we're fortunate, we haven't been in that position where one of us had a serious illness, touch wood. But the thought of it possibly happening, that's my motivation to live life for sure. So we then asked Craig and Amy, what is it about travelling? Is it something that you've always loved?
I'm not sure. I can't remember before I loved it, if I loved it or not, because I'm weird like that. But I would never sort of risk going travelling on my own, because it would end up in death or, injury. But after I met Craig, because he was so into it, and I guess I was too, I'm really open-minded. And, if you can get to see the world, why wouldn't you? So I felt a lot safer going with Craig, and now that you just no stopping us, is there?
Yeah, I think it's something that I was always obsessed with as a kid, because a few of my friends had always talked about it and went before me, so I just couldn't wait to get away. And then, our first real trip together was Australia, and we just had the best time ever. It was only 4 weeks together, but we just got the bug straight away, didn't we?
Yeah, when we went, like, my hair had just started to grow back, and we kind of looked like twins in most of our pictures, which was really nice, but... Everyone thought we were a gay couple, but that's not what it was.
That is actually quite funny, because we don't get accused of being a gay couple.
No.
But people always think we are brother and sister.
Well, not always. I mean, we've had a couple of people say it to us, and it is very embarrassing when it happens.
It's happened a few times, but we do look a little bit alike. I can see why, and you actually do look a lot more like me than my real sister does.
Yeah, you guys really don't look like each other, and I guess it's just because we both got dark hair.
We feel your pain, Craig and Amy.
Yeah, and I always think that we're the kind of people that, when someone gets a pet or like a dog and they start to look like their dog, I think that's why we look so similar, because we've been together for like 10 years now.
Probably.
And we're just kind of morphing into one person, which is very
one
weird.
Amazing person.
So in Craig's answer before, he said that travelling is something that he'd always dreamed of. So we were wondering if travelling really was what they expected.
It was completely different, yeah, because the first... I'd been on holiday with my family when I was younger, but the first trip was Australia. As soon as we landed, I got in a taxi and I was looking at the curbs everywhere, like looking for crocodiles and spiders. Like, that's how naive I was. I was like, there's going to be spiders everywhere in Australia.
Craig's such a wimp when it comes to spiders.
No, I don't mind them that much, but I was just like, Australia is going to just be caked with wildlife. But I didn't see a spider for the first 6 months whilst I was in Sydney. But yeah, it was totally different. You go away and you have these ideas of, you save all this money.
What, £1?
No, I saved about £1,000. I spent half of the money on credit to phone you. And then, you sort of, we did a few bits. But the real travelling started when Amy came out, because I had actually saved properly. And then we planned a real cool adventure up the coast, didn't we? Mm. But it's never how you imagine it. Even now, you always plan a trip in your head and you get there and it's totally different.
So the challenging start that King and It had to their relationship, we wanted to know, so is this the motivation why they live life to the full?
Yeah, we get this question a lot, and I think because of what we've both been through, we do sort of take a step back sometimes and we're like, holy shit, like this actually happened to us. Like, we both could have nearly died. And you sort of get past that. It's like, when you break your leg when you're 10, you sort of forget about it. It just happens to you and you just move on. But it definitely has spurred us on, I think, to do what we do.
Yeah.
We always knew that we didn't want to settle for just a regular a regular job and a regular life. We didn't want to, buy a house and have a kid and get married and then just sort of rot in a job. We just always knew there was something more exciting in life. So I guess, yeah, it has pushed us forward.
Now, I love that answer because that's exactly how I think we live our lives. So I've actually got a tattoo on my ribs and it says, "The normal is psychotic." And it's a Dr. Seuss quote, actually. And it's all about, the reason I got it on me was because I feel really passionately about the fact that, well, especially in England, I feel that we're brought up to, you have to meet someone, you then have to get married, you have to get a mortgage, you have to get that job. And it's this whole cycle and everyone's going to live the same. And I don't like it. I think live your own way, hence why we travel. It's a hobby that we've found works for us. So we do it together, we love it, and we do it as much as we possibly can. If our hobby was, I don't know, buying houses, doing them up and selling them on, then great, as long as you're living your passion. But I just feel really strongly that we shouldn't be doing what people tell us, what mum tells us, what the man tells us. Do you know what I mean? Just live the way you think is right.
Yeah, we're dedicated to not have a boring life, and that's what Craig was saying. So yeah, we're with you guys there.
Absolutely. So let's get to the main topic, bucket lists. So as you know, I explained mine at the start of the episode, but we were asking Kinnet if they've ever written one, and if so, what's on it?
We got a little one, yeah. We're so like easygoing, I guess. We there's places we want to go, but we change our mind every single day. But I think what we've discovered, especially last year, is that we just love seeing like animals in the wild. So I think our bucket list is just to see like animals in the wild that we've never seen before. So Amy's biggest dream is to swim with, not swim with, go in a cage with and watch great white sharks.
That's going to happen this year. So this year is my 10-year cancerversary, and I think that is my is it my biggest one? It's something that I really want to do. So at the moment we're sort of like, we're not sure if we're going to do it in South Africa or in Australia, but I've seen pictures of it, and every time I'm like just Googling it every night. I'm like, sharks, like it's a bit of a strange sharks, but yeah, that's definitely one of the top ones on mine.
So then we wanted to know what the King in It guys' advice would be to people who are thinking about travelling but they're kind of on the fence.
Yeah, just you have to, with anything in life, you've got to prioritise what is going to make you a better person, feel good about yourself and excite you. And if it's a material thing, you will get used to it so quickly, and it doesn't matter what it is. You could buy a brand new Bentley and give it a month and you'd be like, oh, that's my Bentley. But if you book a trip and you have an experience and you meet people, you will never forget that, and you will just like always go back to those memories. So I think traveling just gives you those moments where you're just like, whoa, remember that? It was so cool. Do you know what I mean? Whereas a material thing will just be irrelevant in a year's time.
Yeah, it just makes you more wiser and just a completely more humble person. Especially going to Asia and places like that, poorer countries, you just really appreciate then what you've got at home.
Right, so we're done with bucket lists. So I'm wondering, what is King in It?
What is King in It? It's a good question.
We get asked it a lot, and we always have to think about it.
Well, our mantra is rule your own world. So I guess that's what King in It means in a nutshell. It's like, be your own boss. If you've got goals, you need to go for them. And don't worry about what people think as well. There's a lot of fear with people. They're always worrying about what people are going to think, whether their family's going to judge them if they're doing something out of the norm, or, people are going to laugh at them for, starting a YouTube channel. But if you worry about other people, you never get what you want done. So, yeah, that's what King in It is. Just go for your dreams, innit? Reach for the stars and all that. S Club 7.
Love it.
So next we wanted to know, what are some of Amee and Craig's favourite adventures and destinations they've been to?
We were lucky enough to get the camper van around Iceland, and we met a good few locals who made me try the fermented shark and stuff, which was minging. But, I kind of felt like I had to, because I thought he might cry if I didn't. I felt like I was sort of dissing him a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, our experience of Iceland, we never went in the winter, so we went in the spring and in the summer.
Yeah.
And both times we sort of driven on huge road trips and been able to camp out in the van and stuff.
We were lucky, yeah.
So yeah, I think going back to your question, Iceland has always been like a place we go, and we always have so much fun. And I think it's just the freedom of having the van and going away and yeah, we did meet loads of locals who showed us about and driving in the fjords and everything.
Yeah.
It was just something else.
Yeah, I mean, like you do a big shopping bonus before you go, and then literally most of it's free around the track, innit? Around the country. You know, all the geysers and the waterfalls and the hot springs you can find. You can keep it cheap if you want to.
We just came back from Tromsø in Norway, and we've never really been anywhere like that. We went to Iceland, but it wasn't snowing. So Tromsø was like completely the opposite of what we usually do, which is like hot Southeast Asia countries.
Yeah.
So that was amazing. There was reindeer, there was huskies, there was whale watching.
Oh, I died, honestly.
It was so good.
It was brilliant.
It was like a little winter wonderland, wasn't it?
Yeah, we really got immersed in the culture there, didn't we?
Yeah.
We met so many lovely people and met like the Sami tribe. Yeah, it was a trip of a lifetime. You know, it was very expensive. We're luckily enough to be in the position where we are, where we can collaborate with companies and, you know, offer videos in exchange for the tours. So yeah, it was fab, wasn't it?
Tromsø was great, but yeah, what other places do we love? We've been to Thailand a few times. The culture is so strong there, and it sucks you in, doesn't it? And it's fascinating.
Yeah, so I feel like this is the one that we're going to disagree with King in it, because Iceland was probably one of our least favourites. If you want to know more about that, then definitely head over to our Iceland episode of Series 2. We're not going to say any more, but things happened, and there's some good advice on that episode, so check it out.
Right, next we surprised Craig and Amiee because we've done some homework, we've done some research. We have been through social media contacting some of their fans. We also accidentally harassed some of their actual friends because we wanted to ask people, you know, you obviously follow King in it, do you have any questions? So their friends got back to us saying, I'm actually their mate, so I don't have any questions for them, sorry.
Weird.
So yeah, sorry for that, but we did get some people who have some questions, starting with Joshua. Now, he said that he sees King in it as his travel inspiration, so he wanted to know, where do Craig and Amiee get their inspiration from?
Thanks, Joshua. What a legend.
I know, that's so nice. It's so weird still when people say things like that, you know? People are like, we look up to you for inspiration. I'm like, shut up, dude. You're just saying it, trying to make us feel good.
Yeah, I guess we follow sort of pages like Unilad Adventure, and there's tons of videos coming up on there, and we always sort of look on there and like, whoa, we need to go to this place. I guess Instagram is a place where we look for inspiration, and like some of our friends that we've met, you know, like Nick and Hannah, who run Sonar here, we met them at the GoPro thing a few years ago, and every time we see their photos and the places they've been, we're like, holy shit, that looks so good.
And their videos, they definitely push us to try and make better videos and photos for sure.
Yeah. And yeah, also like our other friends, Lynn and Noah, they run a YouTube channel, Because We Camp. They're so good at editing and filming. Their stuff is immaculate, and every time we see their stuff, we're like, whoa, we need to up our game.
Yeah.
So thanks for that, Joshua. The second fan question was from Explore Always on Instagram. They said, watching King in It has helped me plan my honeymoon in Bali, and I can't think of a question. Just tell them that I love them.
Amazing.
Oh, this is lovely.
It's nice to know, isn't it? Thanks, babe. Hope you had a great time in Bali.
Why weren't we invited to the wedding? Would have loved to have been a bridesmaid.
Yeah, Bali's another place that we always love. It's something that always pulls us back there. It's like touristy in parts, but some of the spots we found in Bali have just been special, haven't they?
Yeah, special.
The third fan question is from Liss Travels, Lyss, Liss Travels. She wanted to know what made Craig and Amiee start King in It, and also what is their go-to camera of choice.
Amy didn't know what was happening for like a year and a half.
I didn't.
She was just showing up.
And like whenever he put the camera on me, I'd get really angry and just be like, stop videoing me now.
So yeah, what happened was I was filming. I filmed for a few years before we started. I was doing like music videos and weddings and just bits on the side as well as my job. And then I started watching. I was watching random YouTube videos, and I came across Ben Brown, UK vlogger, and I was obsessed because I'd never seen a vlog before, and he was vlogging daily, and it was something so. It was like Big Brother, but like a real life, and I was like, this is so fascinating. You just get to follow this guy every day. And so I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about how much we love travelling, and we just booked tickets in the January, and we were going in the September. So I found them in like February or something, and I was like, I could do this. Like, we could do this together on our travels. And then they brought out the DJI Phantom 2, which you could strap a GoPro to. And I was like, that's the one. If we buy a drone, we can do vlogs with the drone, which nobody was doing at that point. And so I like told Amy, I was like, we're going to start a YouTube channel. And then it sort of grew from there. Then we came up with a name. September came round and we just started filming each other. And it just grew from there then.
Yeah, we look back on our old stuff and we're like, holy shit, that is terrible. We like to think we've grown quite a bit in the last sort of 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, for us, I guess it would be the Sony A7S2.
Got it right.
Thank you very much. And but we would always sort of recommend taking a small compact camera as well, wouldn't we?
Yeah, well, our go-tos though.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, for video, like anything that's not in water is the A7S2. If you're filming any activities, then the GoPro Hero 6.
Yeah.
And then for street photography, we actually shoot on a Fuji X100S, which is like, it looks like an old film camera, so no one will steal it off you, but it's like incredible. Shoots raw photos, it's so good. I love it.
Yeah, we keep it
in a first aid bag.
First aid bag, so no one's going to take it. That is genius. There we are, top tip of the night.
First aid bag. See, now I never thought of that one. That's a very good trick.
That is a good idea. We've definitely heard of someone before who ran like a jewellery business, and every time they were carrying expensive jewellery around, they carried it in a Tesco carrier bag because no one's going to think jewellery's in it.
Ah, that rings a bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember who that is. Yeah, so first aid bag, love it. One of our last questions to Craig and Amy is, what does the future hold for Kinging It?
The future. I guess we just want to grow bigger and better, don't we? We'd love to be able to inspire more people around the world to travel. So, yeah, I guess our kind of aim for this year is just to travel more.
What are we doing now? What's the big thing?
We're doing the Mongol Rally this year.
Yeah, Mongol Rally, and this is huge for us because we've been vlogging for nearly 3 years now, and it sort of comes easy to us. It's easy for us to go to a country and just film what we're doing, but we've never done like a challenge, like an A to B. And this is like driving across the world. You're going across like 14 countries.
Yeah.
And there's going to be like border crossings and like police stops, and it's going to be pretty crazy.
Scams and bribes and...
Yeah, and all sorts. So.
Oh, it's just going to be such an adventure though. We're super excited, aren't we?
Yeah, and like this is one of those things that it sounds really like... We never take it for granted, but whenever we've got a trip booked, we're like, oh, I can't wait to go to Sri Lanka. But with the Mongol Rally, we're like, oh my God, we're doing the Mongol Rally, like so pumped for it. So yeah. I think because of that energy, these videos are probably going to be the best we're ever going to produce. And hopefully it'll test us in so many ways, won't it?
Yeah, I hope we're all still friends at the end of it.
You might come back single.
Now, that is so cool they're doing the Mongol Rally. Not the first time we spoke about it on this show. Of course, one of our other mini episodes was with Scott Gurian. He made a podcast all about him and his brother doing the Mongol Rally. Sounds like such an adventure. We know this summer our good friend Carl is doing the Mongol Rally as well.
Yeah, with James.
So it'd be really cool to see how he films it and puts together a video, and then how the guys at Kingin' It film it and put together a video in their style. And for anyone that goes on it, if you're filming whatever, there's going to be so much kind of, material to film, so much to photograph. It's going to be a crazy adventure. So yeah, everyone make sure you look out for that later in the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to wrap up, where can we find Kingin' It?
So you can find us on YouTube if you just type in Kingin' It, or it's youtube.com/KingInIt365. Or on Instagram, we are Kingin' It.
And Facebook.
And Facebook, which is...
What is it?
Just Kingin' It.
It's just Kingin' It.
I think it's the same though with Facebook. If someone said to me, what's your Facebook? I'd be like, it's What the Fire Podcast,
yeah.
I guess.
Love the plug though. Love it. So thanks to Amy and Craig for talking to us from Kingin' It. Absolutely love you guys. And
yeah, keep up the good work. It's a really fun YouTube channel. You can hear just from the interview, their personality comes across really well. That's pretty much what their channel's like. So make sure you guys look out for it. And yeah, thanks again for joining us. And get writing your bucket list. Please send them in if you do. I really, really, really want to see them. The more weird and wonderful things on there, the better. Can you beat Visit the Moon? Please feel free to get in touch with the show. You can do that by checking out our website, www.whatthefotravelpodcast.com. From that, you can find all of our social media channels. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Our email address is whatthefopodcast@gmail.com.